welcome to Phillow Talk!
So, may question ako for you guys. Would you date a Nepo baby?
Wait a minute. Feel ko, depende sa industry ng Nepo baby. Kasi, pag political, no. Like, hard pass. Pero kung entertainment, feel ko, we can talk about it.
Feel ko, I'd agree. Lalo kung hindi ko alam to begin with. Wait, don't cancel it. Pero kung halimbawa, we're in a relationship na, and then they say, babe, you know, my parents actually corrupt as well. It's gonna be parang, oh, give me some of the money and then we can break up.
And I'll leave.
Yeah.
Ikaw
Ikaw ba?
Siguro kung si Vico Soto, oo.
I forgot it was a Nepo baby.
Really? Pero yun,
Yeah.
parang siya yung example in my head of a good Nepo baby.
Good Nepo baby, like, what do you mean?
Okay, kasi I saw a video on TikTok about the same prompt. Would you date a Nepo baby? So, yun, it got me thinking, would you guys date a Nepo baby? And ano ba talaga yung good Nepo baby? Sige, let's play a game. Akala ko bang magugulat kayo. Nagkatiyan! Okay, so, wavelength. Diba may two extremes? So, for this game, good Nepo baby, bad Nepo baby. Okay? And may numbers kasi yan. Depende kung saan. I'll give an example of where they are on the spectrum. You'll try to guess
kung saan sila.
kung saan sila on the spectrum. Sige, let's start. Bad, good. OG Nepo baby. Bongbong Marcos.
Saan yung bad?
Here.
Pwede ko ba sagutin?
Ayoko siya mo.
Okay na
Ikaw.
Okay na yan.
Ito ang answer nila, guys.
We all
Amazing
knew
work.
that. We all knew that. I tried.
Go!
Okay, bad, good.
I read. Claudine ko.
Oops.
Nako, flood control.
Gagalawin pa ba natin yan?
Sagutin nyo.
Yung flaunter of her lavish lifestyle.
Medyo taasan mo ng very slight lang.
Oo. Kasi,
Hindi, babaan mo pa.
she's not the worst.
Is she not?
Because Bongbong Marcos exists.
So, mga here. She's bad. But not the worst.
Open it.
Gets. Ayaw magpapo. Oh! Okay, may 2 points pa rin kami.
Okay, okay. Yan. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Wait. Ako pa try. Okay, wag mo na kayo tumingin. Bad, good.
Sino yan?
Si Kiana D.
Nepo baby yun?
Gets. Oo, kasi si dad niya, di ba? Basketball player ng Lasal. And, if you think about it, that makes her a Nepo baby.
Nasa
For that
sports
industry.
grade.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, lahat ng magkakapatid na yan, nakapag-sport sila. Nakapag-volleyball sila. Saan yung good?
Good, bad.
Okay. She's not bad. So, she's over here. Pero is she the best Nepo baby? I'd say no. Would you say no?
Well, I don't know. Feel ko wala akong opinion kasi hindi ko alam na Nepo baby siya in the first place. But like,
She's over here. Kasi, she's using her influence now as a sikat na volleyball player for good naman. Pero she could be doing more with... Kasi mayaman din naman sila eh. So, yan.
Yeah.
Bang! Yes! So, may confusion talaga kung ano yung Nepo baby, no? Kasi yun, katulad si Kiana D. You wouldn't think she's a
Yeah.
Nepo baby.
What's...
How would you define a Nepo baby?
A Nepo baby essentially is an offspring
A child.
A child.
An offspring.
Parang mas legit pakinggan yung offspring. Is
Sige,
an
go.
offspring of parang of a family that already has established wealth, network, and social capital. Established na meron silang something before they were born.
So, kapag Nepo baby ka, when you're born into this world, parang you're born with an advantage compared to other people. So, you're born into a political family. Lalo na sa Pilipinas, puro tayo political dynasty. So, may advantage ka na from other people kasi you're born into that world eh. The connections that your family has, you have. Example, Kiana D. Yung tatay niya, basketball player. So, mas mataas yung chance na they have connections with athletes. Tsaka yung mindset ng pag-train and everything.
Parang mas may luxury din sila to train kasi yun na yung pamilya nila eh. So, mas may time sila more than an average person.
And they have the knowledge to do
Yeah.
what they need to do.
Kumbaga, you don't have to be hard at work to climb the ladder anymore. And actually, naging matunog nga lalo yung Nepo babies. That term. Ngayon, recently, lalo nung medyo inexpose ni Mayor Vico Soto yung mga Diskaya and their flood control project.
Yeah.
So, the Filipinos, like, on social media, started, I think, digging into people's lives, into these politicians' lives, or like yung period. And, like, heavily nababash yung mga anak nila. Like, ayun, sila Claudine Ko, sila Jamie Cruz. And some people defend them na parang, wait, like, let's stop this guys, hindi naman nila kasalanan, nakurap yung mga magulang nila,
Pero
but then...
the thing is, let's say we started looking into their lives, pero they were flaunting nga, as they've said, their lavish lifestyle. So, everything is posted on social media. Talagang pinagmamayabang nila yung nakaw nila. Dapat lang na makriticize sila. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Pero actually, this topic, we talked about it before the flood control issues pa eh, no? Pero paano ba natin naisip tong topic na to?
Nag-start siya. Naalala mo, tinanong mo ko nun na kung pwede ako mag-Freaky Friday or like switch lives with someone for a day, who would I choose? Actually, sobrang irrelevant ng sagot ko, pero yung sagot mo nun ay... Hindi ko na nga maalala, kaya siya irrelevant.
Okay.
Pero, kasi yung sa kanya yung naalala ko, di ba?
Okay.
Sinong, ay,
Naalala mo, pero
oh, hindi. Kilala ko. Yung anak ni Small Lau din. Nakalimutan ko na yung name niya.
Yeah. Si Aton. Si Allison. Well, I answered her kasi her family is so well off, diba? And in this day and age, who wouldn't want to be rich? Ayun, yes. Si Allison Laude. Anak ni Small.
first name basis.
So, apparently, is not so small.
Right.
Bro, huge.
And she's very Laude! Pero yeah, ayun. So, in a way, Nepo baby din si Allison.
Kumbaga, bago pa naging matunog sa flood issues, naging matunog na kasi
Laude! Pero that's actually a nice idea. Parang, if you were to switch lives with someone, what would you do as a Nepo baby? Ang galing! Amazing! So,
Well, as an Nepo baby right now, I'm not gonna do anything.
what do you mean? Paano not gonna do anything?
Wala, parang I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna live my life like how I should be living my life, which is how I normally live my life. Ayaw mo nang sagot ko?
Wait. Okay, sige. Paabot nga nung, ano. So, let's say this is the ethical spectrum. Good, bad. Diba? And yung sinabi mo, na wala kang gagawin, hindi ka nasa gitna, na parang, hindi ka good, hindi ka bad. Doing nothing with your wealth and the privilege that you have. You're here. Kasi you're letting all of the problems in the world, like, continue without doing anything.
So, Peter Singer, he's a philosopher, has this thought experiment na, for example, you're walking past a pond, shallow pond, and in that pond, there's a child drowning. Ang nakukuha ko from what Lexi was saying earlier, na doing nothing, given your wealth, given your inherited wealth, is like just passing by that pond and ignoring the drowning child.
And it's not just sa mga Nepo baby. Like, if you're a normal person, tas may nakikita kang maling nangyayari sa mundo, so wala kang gagawin.
Well, di ko naman kasalanan at di rin naman kasalanan ng normal na tao na may batang nalulunod sa pond. Also, now that you've mentioned normal people or the ordinary people, di ko rin gets yung hate for us Nepo babies because it's not like we chose to be Nepo babies.
I get what you're saying naman. Pero kasi we already know na there's this pretty big gap between the rich and the poor. So, isn't it ethically troubling na may system na ganon na people are actually put in their place at the bottom of the social hierarchy? As in, there are people, like wealthy people, accumulation of wealth, huge wealth, billionaires. But then there are also people living in absolute poverty. And that's, well, according to Robert McNamara, he's the previous president of the World Bank. He defines absolute poverty as a state of extreme deprivation. So, malnutrition, illiteracy, lack of access to food, shelter, clothing, water, clean water. And yung gantong circumstances, it later on, sooner or later, leads to a person's suffering, a person's death. So, yun yung sinasabi ni Peter Singer na parang child drowning, death, gets. Peter Singer asserts talaga na the wealthy being capable, having access to their needs and more, you have the obligation to assist those who are less fortunate because you can. Because hindi ka naman, you as an adult won't drown in that shallow pond. You have the capability to help that child, so why not help that child?
Well, okay, I guess nagigets ko where you're coming from, where Peter Singer is coming from, but also I'm still wondering why is the responsibility on me? It's not like I wanted people to be in poverty. It's not like I wanted them to be poor.
Okay, sige. We get it. Na you didn't want it to happen. You didn't want anyone to be poor. But at the same time, you may not know it, but you're still contributing to the cycle of poverty.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big system that works. What Lexi said actually aligns with what philosopher Thomas Pogge says about how our economic realities, it's proof na we actually contribute to impoverishment. And siguro yung example na naisip ko is, I think matunog yung fast fashion industries. You guys have heard of it, diba? Let's say a big store, a big fashion store. Behind that fashion store is a big corporation. And to produce their products, they have, syempre, these laborers, these people who do the work for them. Sila yung mga nananahi, day and night. And yung conditions are very bad. Pero, okay, my point is, buying products from that store means you're still perpetuating that type of system na you buy products so they can produce more, nasusupport yung ganong system. So, even if we don't really know it, and we don't really want to perpetuate yung ganong system, sometimes, most of the time, we just do.
Well, ikaw na rin mismo nagsabi. It's a whole system. So, kung tumulong man ako, hindi ba parang ang hirap na i-dismantle yung ganong system to lessen poverty if I help, kung ako lang din naman yung tutulong, like, kung nasa akin yung responsibilidad. And what you said about absolute poverty, na kapag tumulong ako, I could prevent possible death, doesn't that sound so intimidating na di naman ako si Superman eh. So, alam mo yun, why bother helping at all?
Pero if everyone thought like that, everyone with privilege, everyone who had the capacity to help, paano na tayo? Like, talagang walang aasenso, walang uusad, walang magbabago sa mga problema natin sa mundo.
Tsaka, siguro dagdag ko lang rin is, gets ko what you're saying about, minsan talaga walang reassurance na if we, halimbawa, donate to charity, are we really sure na we're actually doing something? Like, are we actually sure that we're actually saving a life of a person or a family? Pero kasi, everything we have in this world, usually as humans, we weigh it na probabilities. Like, diba, we only drink medicine when we're sure it's gonna heal us. So parang that's kind of, siguro with our economy right now, it's hard to measure it like that, especially when it comes to donating. But then, yung sinasabi ko nga kanina, parang wala namang mawawala sa'yo. Especially if you have such big wealth. So, siguro to answer yung question mo na lang din na parang why bother, I guess, it's not really about ending all poverty kasi, yeah, hindi ka naman si Superman or whoever superhero ends all poverty. But, we don't have the power to do that. Pero, yung, I guess what Singer implies sa works niya is that the existence of millions more you can help doesn't negate yung duty mo to help the ones you can. So, it's really just about doing the most you can for who you can help.
Gets mo na.
Yeah, I guess.
Chupi. Ayun. So, welcome back.
Okay, ikaw, anong gagawin mo as a Nepo baby?
Well, of course I'm gonna donate.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Na the first thing you would think of is to donate.
I mean, what else is there to do? Even Thomas Aquinas said na whatever a man has in superabundance is owed of natural right to the poor for their sustenance.
Well, true naman, but I think we also have to talk about the implications of this idea because, first of all, when a person donates, parang they're instantly put on this pedestal na makakuha sila ng maraming praise kasi nag-donate sila. So, parang, wow, ang bait mo naman kasi nag-donate ka to charity, to the poor, ganun. But really, it's a responsibility from you kasi established na na marami kang pera, you have a lot of money.
Paano from you? On her. May responsibility. Siyang
Yeah.
mag-donate dapat.
Paano yun? Parang ako na nga yung nagdo-donate, tas kasalanan pa ako. Parang kasalanan ko pa.
Okay, so, sige, tanungin muna kita, after mo mag-donate, what will you be doing with the rest of your money?
Well, of course I'm gonna enjoy it. I mean, I have money, so why can't I spend it on myself?
I think that's where a lot of wealthy people stop. Kasi these people, they don't think that helping people is urgent. And parang, alam mo, kaya lang nilang bumalik sa buhay nila without hurting their bank accounts. So, they can afford their very own basic needs. Tapos, kung magdadonate sila, they also afford the basic needs of those they are helping. And then, on top of that, they can still collect bags, flaunt their luxury hauls, yung mga ganun.
Are you saying na I can't buy a new bag? Or like it's bad to buy a new bag?
Well, you can, but morally speaking, yung bag na bibilhin mo kasi could be worth more than enough to someone else who's trying to survive.
Okay, that's true. Kasi kung iisipin mo, if you can afford to buy, let's say, a 300,000 bag, and the other option is feeding 300 kids, which is the more righteous cause.
Yeah, so parang ang nangyayari, people end up glorifying your lifestyle instead of questioning it. Kahit ganun nga yung pwedeng scenario, di ba, na pwede ka naman kasi mag-donate to 300 hungry kids instead of buying a 300,000 peso bag. Kasi yun nga, nakapag-donate ka pa rin naman. So, yes.
But exactly, like I've already done my part. Nag-donate na ako.
So, ayun nga, let's say you've done your part, you've donated once. Are you stopping there? Parang, kapag ganun, hindi ba yung tendency magmumukhang nag-donate ka lang just to paint an image of parang, I've helped the poor. And, kapag ganun, okay, people will look at you and think na, yun nga, sabi nga ni Thea, they're gonna praise you, put you on this pedestal. Pero, parang ano siya eh, moral duty nga siya. It should be expected of people with wealth.
Yeah, so parang nare-reinforce lang sa mga tao na you've just done a good deed when it should be a moral duty from you as a privileged person.
Does that make sense?
I'm back!
Saan ka galing?
Nag-donate. Tere! Okay! Ako din! Hey! So, anong gagawin mo nga?
I'll do the most good that I can.
Wow. May ganun.
Oo, kasi alam mo, seeing how rich people are nowadays, parang they're not doing the most good that they can do to resolve everything that's happening. And I'm not saying that they should solve everything that's happening, but they're just not doing enough. Ano?
But they should.
Yes, they should.
What do you mean?
I'd agree na when you have accumulated a large amount of money, yung first reasonable thing that you would do is to donate. Pero sometimes, people donate to causes that are less urgent than others. And when you donate money kasi, parang your participation stops there.
True.
Diba? Parang, sige, bigyan ko kayo ng pag-fund, kayo na bahala sa mga problema nyo, kung ma-resolve ba yan with the money that I give. Pero, if I were a Nepo baby, a good Nepo baby, a part of it would be actually, like, devoting my time to the cause. And, ayun nga, really doing the most good that I can.
But, how would you ensure na parang you're doing the most good? Kasi syempre parang sobrang extreme naman kung ipupush mo yung sarili mo na ibigay mo lahat ng pera mo and also devote your time and your energy and, alam mo yun, just yourself to it.
Siguro what I would do is, I'd redirect 80% of how much I'm worth to the most urgent causes. Kasi yun nga, parang at the same time, I'd devote the same amount of time, like 80% of my time, volunteering, ganun, for the cause.
You actually have a really good point. And, I just want to add, you mentioned that some cases are more urgent than others. Pero, I wanna cite Peter Singer ulit. Na maybe we can look at it in a different way. Na, instead of urgency, siguro we should value causes that would have the biggest positive impact. Not just urgency.
Also, I really liked what you said about yung may specific number ka kasing sinabi. And I think what you were what you were talking about there is actually reaching your marginal utility. Pero kasi yung idea nun, wala naman kasi talagang numerical value or percentage to determine kung ano yung limit nun. And I think what you said is a step towards it, although we don't really know kung talagang is 80% your marginal utility. Parang ganun.
Siguro question lang on marginal utility. Kasi, when it comes to marginal utility, Peter Singer is saying na parang it's a big sacrifice, no? Tama. I'm wondering lang how we can reconcile marginal utility with yung sinasabi ni Peter Singer din na there is an amount that people could give without having to sacrifice.
Well, marginal utility kasi is paano ba natin siya explain? Parang kung iisipin mo, yung pinaka rule niya is that if we can prevent something bad from happening without sacrificing anything of comparable moral importance, then we are morally obligated to do it. So, in simple words, we should give until giving more would cause us the same pain we're preventing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I get what you guys are saying. So basically, I should stop before I suffer the way those I helped were suffering.
Yes.
Pero possible pa ba yun at this day and age? Like, may reach ko ba talaga yung point na yun?
Well, we kinda need Lexi back to answer that. So, bye Margie.
Bye!
Amazing. Hi, Lexi. So,
Hi!
maganda yung naging usapan namin with Margie. It was really nice. Na pag-usapan namin how oh my God. So, napag-usapan namin yung reconciliation nga ng marginal utility and sacrifice and how yung sinasabi ni Singer, it really won't be that big of a sacrifice if everyone was reaching their marginal utility.
True.
So, that's why it's a collective effort and it's not one person bears the brunt of alleviating poverty, kumbaga.
And also, Margie left us a very good question. Tinanong niya kung possible pa ba in this day and age to reach marginal utility.
Okay. Let's see what the actual Nepo babies are doing. I think we'd be better at playing this game now.
Oo. Parang marami na tayong nakolekta about
Sorry.
not just Nepo babies, but, you know,
Ethical
criticism.
Me first. Evil, good. Yes. Jella Alonte.
Nakita mo ba yung sa TikTok? Sa TikTok ba yan? Pero parang, may nakita kong screen recording sa live niya.
Yung tungkol sa political dynasty.
Parang tinanong siya ano yung opinion niya about political dynasties. Tapos si girl tumawa and said, paano ba yan? Political dynasty yung pamilya ko.
Paano ba yan? Na political dynasty yung pamilya ko? Ay, controversial.
Okay, see, there are people like that who don't acknowledge the privilege that, they're born into.
But is she the worst? Can we say that she's the worst because of that?
I wouldn't say she's the worst. Kasi there are Nepo babies who parang
Are worse.
amplify pa yung bad na ginawa ng parents nila. Like, that joke lang. Pero, she's still here. Kasi, parang, she still has a lot of influence na, na hindi niya ginagamit for good. And, does she contribute to causes that are urgent? Sorry. Kumusta, Liz?
Let's see.
Oh.
Okay.
Fair.
Pretty good.
Makes sense.
Yeah, dagdag ko lang rin na she actually apologized for that video.
Oh?
Yeah. But then, medyo may dissonance because even after her apology, nagpo-post pa rin siya ng parang parinig sa bashers niya. Na palamunin daw yung bashers niya, ganun. So, I don't know, siguro there's still that hindi pag-intindi sa ganung dynamics or like where the frustration from the people are coming from.
I get why she's here. I get why you said Jella Alonte for this.
Actually, before nga, yung spark ng Nepo Babies discussions, di ko alam na Nepo Baby si Jella Alonte kasi yung mga pinopost niya lang sa TikTok is mostly like about herself, her lifestyle also, parang alam mo yun, hindi mo makikitaan ng meron siyang pinaninindigan ba? Pinaglalaban? Parang ganon.
So, in ethicalism terms, hindi niya na-fulfill yung obligation niya to assist given the influence, the resources.
Sa dinami-dami ba naman ng linakaw ng pamilya niya, talagang pinapaikot lang nila within the family. So, ayun nga, parang ang lakas na loob niya maging hostile towards her bashers.
Yeah.
In the first place, sino ba ninanakawan ng pamilya niya?
True.
Anyways!
Okay, Mimi now.
Nakita ko. Okay,
Okay, don't look guys. Uh, good ba? Okay, unofficial it girl ng Pilipinas, Heart Evangelista.
Oh. Wait, where's good, where's bad?
Dito yung good, dito yung bad.
Okay, let's start here. It girl siya.
People are saying kasi na may career na talaga siya to begin with. But like,
And I've heard she donates and
yeah.
parang she does charity.
But, yeah.
Pero is she
still-
good? No, she's not.
The percentage of that is still from nepotism.
But it's not the worst. Kasi
Not the worst.
hindi niya fina-flaunt yung
Oo.
pag-donate niya.
Siguro hindi naman siya ma-gel along the levels na indifferent talaga.
So I'd put her here.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh! Okay!
Yan, nilagay ko siya dyan kasi kung ito nga yung ethical spectrum natin, hindi siya nandito. Kasi she's doing something, she's donating, and under the radar also. So parang hindi niya nga, as you said, hindi niya fina-flaunt. She doesn't want the praise, ganun. But then, parang kahit ganun, pinipraise pa rin siya ng mga tao because people think
Yeah.
na ang bait niya, and that's why she gets more supporters na she's down to earth, she's very generous, ganyan. But yeah, parang it's still not the most good that she can do na yeah, she has a lot of money, guys.
And at the same time, parang if we view it through the lens of effective altruism, nobody could be here talaga. Nobody could be good. Kaya siya hindi nandito, feel ko. Kanina nung iniisip ko. Because of her husband. Her affiliations with her husband. How she supports her husband. Even if, okay, let's use the recent issue as an example. Ang dineclare ni Cheese Escudero na salan niya is just 18 million pesos. If I recall correctly. Pero she recently received a ring worth 55 million.
No.
From Cheese. So it doesn't make sense.
Parang, are you saying pinag-ipunan niya yun for 10 years?
And ayun nga, so kung i-apply natin yung napag-usapan kanina, 55 million pesos for a ring, or 55 million pesos for other causes.
That's true.
Parang extension din siya ng nepotism kasi hindi na lang siya direct na anak. Meron pa siyang ibang connections, which is her husband.
55 million is a big amount of money.
Nepo wife.
Nepo wife and baby. Kumbaga may pamilya na sila. Nepo offspring.
Nepo relative.
Nepo family tree. Okay, now your turn.
Sakyan niyo ako, guys. Ellis ko.
Siya ba yung ko na parang call out sa tatay niya? Tama ba ako?
Oo. Oo. Anak ni Zaldi ko. Yung nag-post sa Instagram niya. Actually, trended for it na ano daw. His relationship with his dad has been vague ever since he entered politics. And kinokondemn niya daw ang corruption and all its forms. So it was a call out to his dad. So
Well, wait lang. Saan nga yung good, saan yung bad? Dito yung bad. He's not the best for that. But he's also, can we say he's the worst when he's doing, alam mo yun, may ginawa siya na,
I mean, that's what we were looking for from Heart, di ba?
oo.
Still a Nepo baby. May may benefit pa rin from
May nakuha pa rin siya.
ganong wealth. But, did call it out. Address it publicly.
Ako dyan, medyo sa gitna.
Gitna na lang.
Medyo ganito, pero yan, gitna.
Guys!
Oh, why?
He's
Oh.
here.
Oh.
Oh.
And I would say that he's there because even though he did call out his father, sobrang daming nag-fact check na sinasabi niya. At na-discover nila na his company is still funded by the wealth na their family got their ill-gotten wealth. So there's that. Tapos, he's distancing himself daw, diba? Pero shareholder pa rin siya sa mga kumpanya ng tatay niya. And there are... So even though parang walang arguments sa sinasabi niyang he gives to charity, it's just so very performative of him to parang clean his reputation as a Nepo baby if he's still a part of that world and perpetuating nga the practices. Yan.
So, nasusupport pa rin yung ganong system.
Yung kaninang criticize natin siya for being a Nepo baby kasi nag-benefit siya kahit like while he was growing up.
Yeah.
Pero kahit pala hanggang ngayon, kahit sa business niya, sa pera niya mismo ngayon, he's still benefiting from it. Okay, Alice, go.
Girl, delete that post.
Ay, grabe. I think it's time for us to stop playing this game. Kasi nalulungkot lang ako. Right? Makes you wonder, may pag-asa pa ba tayo? If all Nepo babies are like that, paano ba kasi maging good Nepo baby?
Balikan natin yung tanong natin kanina. Ano ba yung good Nepo baby? Kasi parang lahat ng pure bad Nepo baby yung nade-define natin.
I think it just means wala na tayong madidate. Joke!
Wait lang,
Anyway.
kaya di. Ganun. Pwede ba yung mga nandun? Okay, wait. Balik tayo. So, what is a good Nepo baby? I think first of all, yung hindi natin nakita dun sa mga pinag-wavelength natin, marami sa kanila hindi na-acknowledge yung privilege nila. So, that's one of the first things that a good Nepo baby should be. Dapat alam nila kung saan nakatayo yung pamilya nila. Parang ganun. So, yes.
So let's say they've acknowledged their privilege, right? Now it's time to recognize what they can do with this privilege and actually act on it. Kasi it's established naman na parang Nepo babies have to do more than the average person. And hindi lang financial yung what they can do, right? We already know na these Nepo babies already have their platforms. They have an influence. So, it's up to them to use those platforms din talaga for good.
Ang ganda tawa! So, an example na I can think about right now is Emma Natienza. May her soul rest in peace.
Yeah, I was also, naisip ko rin siya while we were talking about what a good Nepo baby is because I did realize na she checks all the boxes that we were talking about. Kasi unang-una, in-acknowledge niya yung privilege niya. Hindi ko alam kung nakita niyo yung interview kay Kuya Kim recently. Ewan ko, natawa ako doon kasi parang yung pagkwento din ni Kuya Kim na binablock siya ni Eman or masama nang ayaw niya kasing ma-associate kay Kuya Kim. Parang basically she wanted to make a name for herself. And
Binlock ako niyan. Hindi ko pwedeng gamitin yung mga video niya kasi naka-block ako. Sabi ko, Eman, why? Papa, I'm already called Nepo baby. And they say that I'm a Nepo baby that they like. If we're seen together, I'll be a real Nepo baby. I'll be one of those regular Nepo babies riding on you. I want to do this on my own.
she does that by, nakikita naman natin yun sa content niya. She does acknowledge her privilege. Sinasabi niya naman yun na she's open about it.
So, ayun nga, if we compare her to other Nepo babies who, in a way, parang milk off of their parents' fame, she did the complete opposite. And even though she did that, she was trying to distance herself from Kuya Kim and his image. Parang she was still able to recognize what she can do with the privilege that she did have. Ayun, so you can see her TikToks. A lot of her TikToks are on educating people. And the topics that she talks about, parang in a way, they're not talked about enough.
I feel like this is a really hot take and I might get a lot of hate for this, but
And parang these are topics na you could expect people to react negatively because they don't share the same the same opinion, 'di ba? And even if there was this possibility of facing backlash, she was very adamant on educating people.
And it didn't end sa social media niya. She quite literally took it to the streets. And she went out of her way talaga to, I believe not a lot of people knew this about her, na she went out of her way and signed up for a national democratic mass organization to educate herself and to really advocate for marginalized communities, to advocate for mental health. So we can say she really went above and beyond. She really did the most good she can do, which is really what effective altruism is all about.
So if we apply what we talked about earlier about marginal utility, not only was Eman trying to reach the limit, pero we could say she exceeded it pa eh.
Yeah, because she did suffer as much as she helped. And, yun nga, yung mga narinig natin na advocacies niya na a lot of people didn't know about her. And the things she did for those advocacies, I guess we can assume na she recognized her moral duty or her moral obligation. And if everyone just recognized their own moral obligation, and if everyone did their part, then none of us would have to give up much.
So it's not impossible naman to be a good Nepo baby.
I feel like, especially in the Philippines, we've moved very far away from, ayun nga, kasi 'di ba, these politicians, these celebrities, we used to hold them in a pedestal, or we used to, parang malayo sila sa atin. But then, now, parang people are starting to recognize them better. Also, the people are also recognizing the importance of holding these people accountable and calling them out, because they do have a larger responsibility because of all the wealth, or, all the privilege that they have.
Ayan. So, what we're getting at is na being born into a family that's rich, has accumulated wealth, no matter where this wealth came from, doesn't necessarily mean na you are inherently bad.
Yeah, di naman yung pagdating mo sa mundo, masama ka na agad. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, it's not like may label ka agad kung masama kang tao. It's really a matter of fulfilling your moral obligation to support causes and help the people you can with the privilege that you have.
So I think we covered a lot today. And I hope you guys learned a lot.
Because we sure did.
Thanks for listening to
Phillow Talk. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Do it yourself.
Is that ethical? Bagsak yung podcast. We have to acknowledge na these Nepo babies, they are Nepo babies.
Oh.
Ay!